couple of months ago, we did our demo with folks at IT department. We also demoed our system with Ms. Tompkins. And today we'd like to focus our demo on your roles as a board member. So at first I'm going to log in as the board assistant so we can see the flow, how the agenda is started, and the agenda will be released to the board. So I have two browsers here open, so we can see from both sides, from the administrative side and also from the board side. So also here we have an agenda that is created for this presentation, and the status of the agenda right now is in finalize. That means all of the item authors cannot access the agenda anymore because everything has been finalized and ready to be released to the board. So I'm going to release this agenda. When the agenda is released, the board will receive notification through email mentioning that the agenda has been released and ready for review. So as a board member, you will log into the system. And then you will be able to see, the first thing you will see is a dashboard where it shows you the upcoming meetings, and also it tells you the date of the meeting, the status of the agenda, the total items that included for that particular agenda. And also it shows you how many items is included in the agenda and the status for each item. So for today, we're going to look into this particular agenda that's just been released to the board. So when you come to the screen, so this is where the agenda listings, and you will see a three view that contains a category, and each category doesn't have to have an item. But for this particular demo, I added 3 items and 2 under consent. You can collapse and expand this so you can see the detail of it. And also on this, for today, we'll look into these particular items, the consent items. So next to each item, you will see 3 different buttons. The first one is view buttons that allows you to see the detail of the item. And also present you with the title of the agenda, the status of the agenda, the meeting dates, and also it shows you the supporting documents, which you can review from here. Additionally, it shows you the audit trail of the item, so you know exactly what's happening to the item, who created it, and when it was created, who added the supporting documents, and when it was submitted to the agenda. The next icon I would like to show you is the annotation. And this annotation is a private notes that a board member can add to the item. And you can review it before the meetings. And when annotation is added, the icon changes to green. The next one I would like to show is the information. let's go ahead and email annotation. You can also email annotation to yourself and also, or to anybody that you would like to. And what it gives you is it gives you the list of the annotation that's included for each item. Yes, it will be listed in a table. And now I'm going back to the board assistant. And you have reviewed the agenda and the items, and now it's time for the meeting. So the board assistant will conduct the flow of the meeting, and we'll go to the meeting room by clicking this group icon. Here's the meeting room. The first thing you will do, the board assistant will take attendance of the board. Let's assume that now everybody's present for the meeting. We'll update that. And as a board member, this is the view that we'll see. So now that particular agenda is in session. And as a board member, you will be able to go to the meeting room by clicking this red bell. And I'm returning to board assistant. And now, the board assistant will go item by item, and the board members will be able to follow which item is being discussed. Let's start with this one. So right now it's discussing item number 2, C1. You can see the detail here. I'll show you the view of the board. And the board will see exactly the same thing, and you will be able to view the detail of the item as well in here. And you can view your annotation also, and view the supporting document. So now I would like to show you, how we can initiate the vote. So you'll see the voting section. So the board assistant will initiate the vote, and when the vote is initiated, the board member will be notified as well. So the voting is happening, and board member will vote for this one. And right now, I'm logging in as Jim Walters, and we'll place a vote. And this is also pretty straightforward. We'll give you 3 options: A, nay, and recuse. Take a vote on this one. And would like to show you the public view as well, what the public will see when the voting is happening. For that, you will be clicking this icon, the public view. It will be displayed on the screen. Right now, voting is happening, and I'll go back to board assistant. So also as a board assistant, you will be able to vote on behalf of the board in case something happened with your computers and there's malfunction, and you will be able to vote on their behalf. So I'm going to vote on their behalf because I'm not logging in as all the board members. By clicking this, and you can also cancel vote.
Just wanted to let you know you have 5 minutes.
Okay, thank you. And assume that I'm voting for everyone. So now I would like to show you the public view. The public will be able to see, who was voted for what option, and also the tally of the vote and the result of the vote. So during this process, the Agenda Plus will record all of the activities is happening during the meeting and produce meeting minutes. You can add your own personal minutes to it, but without that, you will be able to do it 100% without any adding additional information. And let's take another vote. And then I'll show you how the meeting minute looks like. And also another thing that I would like to show you is the action. Edit this. You can add the title of the action and the action type. There's some option in there. Motion to approve, motion to amend, and the margin type, simple majority, 3x4, 2x3, and unanimous. Motion by and second by. No. To save some time, again, I'm going to vote on their behalf. So that's it. I mean, the two items has been discussed, has been voted, and now we can adjourn the meeting. Once you adjourn the meetings, the status of the agenda is in possession, and now you can review your minutes. So without adding any minutes on your own, the system will pretty much record all of the activities during the meeting. And the vote is included as well in here. And you can download it as a PDF or HTML, or push it directly to your website. Yes,
Eric.
I asked the same question I asked the other gentleman. I like being able to put notes on. I like that fine, but sometimes I like getting into the actual policy document and making
Eric?
notes.
I can't hear the question. You're maybe talking.
I'm sorry, I was trying to look at them, and so please forgive my. How about this? So I like being able to have notes. I think that's really fine. But a lot of times I find, I'm marking up documents, especially when it comes to policy. I'm circling something, or am I able to do that in e-agenda?
Currently not, but that's very simple change that we can do. I can show you an example here. So let's see. The process is pretty similar to adding a description, and then you can highlight it, and you can come back to it, and you can add note to it. So the difference is the one that you saw earlier is just a regular text box, multi-line text box, and we can replace it with something like this. And then you will be able to highlight, add your own notes and additional notes, and come back to it. Yeah, that's pretty simple change that we can do.
I guess my current question is, so we've been with you, how long have we been? I know it's now called Agenda Plus, but it was e-Agenda formerly known as? Okay.
Yeah, it's been at least 15 years.
Okay, and the contract period is 5 years?
It's a yearly contract,
Annual?
yeah.
Okay, and so we did pay a startup fee at 10, 12 years ago or so?
Yes.
Okay. So why would we be, this is a new platform?
A new platform, the platform we're using is extremely old and outdated.
But so, do you annually update? Then, I mean, when you have and that would be to both of the vendors, is it an annual update for when the platform updates, or do we have to go through a new licensing every time it updates?
You don't have to go through new licenses. What we do is when we have an update, we'll notify you guys. We'll do some updates, and you will see some of the new features that we added to, and we just send notification. There's no additional cost to that.
But we pay every year. It's
Maintenance.
Happening.
a maintenance fee.
Correct. There's an annual maintenance fee that both
Right.
solutions would entail, much like all of our software solutions that we have. My assumption, and e-Agenda or Agenda Plus can clarify this, but I believe because of the dramatic jump from the old version that we were on to this new platform, that's why that additional cost is being assessed.
Understood. I just wanted to know that if since, what prevented the update in previous years from that happening to avoid us having to look at an upfront cost of 25?
I believe if you would think of it this way, the entire platform's changing as
Okay.
opposed to just a version upgrade.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair
this is
enough.
completely different
Understood.
system.
Okay. Were there any other questions? Anyone? Bueller? Okay. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And so what I wanted to make sure that we as the IT department left here with today is some clear direction from the board, because time is of the essence in terms of the direction that we need to move forward with, whether we need to attempt to maintain the current platform we have for the coming year, or at least for part of that year before we transition to a new platform.
Shirley?
I mean, I know my direction I'd like to go, but I mean, I don't think we can really take a vote, do we? Are we going to do this at?
No, we'd have to do it in a formal
board meeting?
contract. Yeah. How soon would?
But we can give our input, right?
Of course.
I kind of like that two of the larger board school districts in the state are using this new one, and Sarasota and the city are using this new one. And the startup costs are a big difference.
So from the IT perspective, because I don't know the back end of it, I mean, is there any difference that we should be aware of from unforeseen costs, I guess, is kind of what I'm asking.
No.
Okay. Eric?
I like I say all the time, I agree with Ms. Brown. I like the way that the first presentation went. I thought it was cleaner. I love the fact that, you have to get an app. I'm not happy about that. But I like being able to mark up documents a lot and, striking through. I really like that a lot.
I know you like it.
Well, track changes to me have been something I've been concerned about in general from a legal standpoint, as we've had items changed, and once they're updated, that's just for whatever reason, whether it be grammatical or what have you. So my gut would be towards Granicus for cost. I would just want to make sure I'm clear on the cost of that, what that includes. And then what are we paying right now?
Right now, we're paying approximately $5,000
A year?
A year. What we're
Okay.
paying, what most of the fees are right now.
Okay.
The video software that you saw, that's another $5,000.
And that would be a separate conversation,
be
obviously,
separate.
and that would have to be
Right.
through communications, if that even I don't even know if that is possible or made sense. I just didn't think.
Right, I just want to know, I
appreciate that.
got the cost in case you want
Perfect,
it.
perfect. Jane, any thoughts?
Well, I think technologically speaking, the Granicus looked to me as though it was really kind of state-of-the-art. Abiding by the fact that any revisions made to a document are for your notes only and are public record, but we have to work within the confines of our establishing a final on our agenda and so forth. But it looked to me like that would be an easy one. And I would, I would ask Kathy what she thinks. She's the one that really is going to be using this a great deal of the time. And is Granicus a big time saver for you in your estimate?
On the spot right now. You can feel free
Actually,
to.
for you to respond, you're going to need to join us and turn the microphone on, which I know you dearly love.
So excited.
While she's coming over here, something that Jane just brought up, public records, they said that any comments we make are, on our screen, and they're our comments.
They'd still
But
be
if
subject.
somebody asks for
They'd still
them,
be subject to
they
public
can, but people just can't sign on and look at them. They'd have to particularly ask for them.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Really? It's on? Okay. I did find that Granicus more user-friendly, less clicks, and I also looked at it for when you were using it up here, voting and things like that, and what would be easiest. And I thought their voting was easier. I mean, it's very clear. It's just like right there.
Just has to work. No, there we go. That's what I wanted.
But I understand, Ray, you said the back end is easier too. There's a lot of support. I like the support. It was like any time I can call.
Granicus is a cloud solution.
Right.
And
That's right.
Agenda Plus does have a cloud solution, but as of right now, what you just got presented was the on-site, and right now I have to support a SQL server and an application server for all this, and Kathy has a lot to do moving things around. Granicus was the easiest in the way of actual my support.
So how soon would we have a contract?
there
How
you
soon
go.
would they be up and running? Thank you, Kathy.
I just want to make sure we also thank staff for going out
Yeah.
and looking, because they initially just said this is one, and you know, the board, you know, gave them some direction, and they came true to form and found a good one. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. I do want to say that
Beneficial.
I had another company call Kathy that wanted to present, but they would not give me a quote that we could put in the public record, and I told them thank you very much, but we couldn't do that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think our time is.
So to answer a couple of the questions that you just brought up, first, as Ray mentioned, the cloud solution. So later today, you'll be voting on our renewal for our hosting and security agreement with Sarasota County government. And as we spoke at Agenda Review, it's lower this year because we've been able to lower our footprint in the data center through virtualization and other efficiencies. This would allow us to further lower, further the minimization of our footprint in the data center with not having the agenda there. So there's a ancillary savings that comes along with that. In terms of contracting, getting it in place, I would, as long as we have direction from the board that this is comfortable, that's when we'll begin to put the rubber to the road and as we like to say, make the magic happen as quickly as possible, but in a thoughtful, purposeful manner.
Okay, so, and it won't disrupt our current, and that's the thing, because we ended July of this, no, July? Is it July? Is it June of this month? So it's this month.
It's this one.
So the in-between,
So
that's what
I'll need to verify with
Okay.
the licensing of it, but I'm confident that we can work something.
Okay, that's all I wanted to make sure you had that. All right, anyone else, questions? Thank you so much, very excited. I like it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And before we leave, I just really want to commend Ray, because really this is his efforts coming to fruition today.
And it's super important. I mean, I'm kind of a nerd about this stuff, but it's a huge liability exposure on a lot of ends. So thank you. Okay, I think we are done for the morning portion, and we will adjourn until 1 o'clock. Thank you very much.